Hello, beautiful humans. Jaclyn Renee, holistic health coach and digestion specialist, here for You Natural. I'm so excited to bring you more information to help you balance your hormones, perfect your period, and also if you are someone who is trying to support fertility, this information is for you. Today, I'm going to be sharing some insight on the 4 phases of your cycle. Last year, I hosted a hormone workshop on your period and shared the 4 phases of the cycle. And it was so interesting to hear how many women had no idea what was going on in their cycles month to month or even week to week. And, this information wasn't available to me either. And so I find it so valuable to understand these cycle phases to be able to balance hormones naturally and do fertility naturally. So you can understand your body on a deeper level and know when the signs and symptoms are off, what you need to do to get back into alignment. Okay. So the 4 phases of your cycle are menstrual, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal. Okay, so you have those 4 cycle phases that are going on every month. No matter what, they're going through the cycle phases that they need to go through. Now, some women may experience shorter periods, some longer, some may have no signs or symptoms of ovulation. But if you go in flow of your cycle, if you understand them more and you go in flow of them, you can regulate this a lot. The first thing you always want to do is start to track your cycle. You can use an app, or you can do it with temperature. You can do it on your phone or in a journal. Just start to become aware of what signs and symptoms you're experiencing on which day of your period. And by day, I mean day 1 of your cycle is when your menstrual cycle starts. So you start day 1 on the day that you start your cycle. If you are not experiencing cycles due to PCOS or anything else from that, you can track with the moon, meaning the day that there is a full moon would be day 1 of your cycle, which will help you start to experience flow in the natural state of your body, going with our Earth's beautiful substance of the moon. So, digging into the cycles, the menstrual phase, otherwise known as the most hated phase, I can guarantee, is when we are releasing all of the uterine lining and hormones are coming out of our body. It's sort of like a reset for your entire system. But it is important to remember that you are bleeding and you are losing nutrients that your body had built up, and you're losing hormones that your body had built up to release this uterine lining. So it's really good to restore it with foods and nutrients, which I will get into in a minute. The other thing that's happening in your menstrual cycle or in your menstrual phase, is that your progesterone levels decline. If your progesterone level increased and you didn't get a cycle, this is an indication that you're pregnant. So it's great to track with progesterone strips or fertility strips, because then you can see where your progesterone and estrogen levels are at. So when you're in your menstrual phase, because your body is bleeding, you're getting rid of the lining of the uterus, your hormones are exuding, it's really important to take it slow. You want to, not be working on a big project or being very social. And it is important to also know that you need extra calories. Much like when someone is pregnant, they recommend about 300 extra calories a day. This can be true of your cycle. So if you're fighting those cravings, it could because you're nutrient deficient. So instead of giving into the cravings, maybe add an additional nutrient dense meal, like a thick, juicy smoothie, or an afternoon apple and peanut butter, or something with some major substance to it, where you will get those extra calories from releasing the uterine lining. In addition, obviously, we're losing minerals if we're losing blood. So you can increase your mineral content by adding in seaweed, which is great. You can do seaweed salad, this is a good time to go out for sushi, get a seaweed salad, have miso soup, these nourishing, earth elements that you can introduce on your menstrual cycle. So from the menstrual cycle, then we have the follicular phase or follicle. Obviously, we are growing the egg, or we're putting ourselves in a place where we can start to grow the egg for ovulation. Now, your reproductive hormones are at their lowest level coming off of your menstruation cycle. And in this phase, we want estrogen to ramp up. This is where we like estrogen. Estrogen is good in the follicular phase. So we want to support estrogen in this phase. A good way to support estrogen in this phase nutritionally is with flax seeds and pumpkin seeds. Now, if you missed my video on seed cycling, you can go back to You Natural YouTube station or channel, and you can look up the seed cycling video, and then that will give you more information on how to seed cycle for your period. So flax and pumpkin seeds are phytoestrogens, and they will help ramp up your estrogen levels here and also help delegate your hormones so you have less bloating PMS symptoms when it comes time to have your period. Now, your uterine lining is starting to build again. Your ovaries are getting ready to release the egg inside of ovulation. But the important thing to know is that your metabolism is slowing down. So coming off of your cycle where you wanted to eat more, this is where you want to eat lighter going into the follicular phase. Some things that are really helpful in the follicular phase to get the body to delegate hormones really properly is to now ramp up those workouts. Do things like a fun new dance class or high intensity interval training. This is the best time to do that. Cardio, dancing, anything really fun. And your brain is really active. So you can go out, make those plans, maybe go on a new date, make a new connection. So that's what's going on in the follicular. Now the ovulation phase, and I'm going to separate it into obviously two elements if you're not trying to get pregnant and if you are trying to get pregnant. Here, estrogen surges, LH hormone surges, and it's like we're coming up on the roller coaster all the way up, and we're at the tippy top, ready to go down after ovulation. And in this phase, your energy is super high. You're getting ready to release those eggs. So you can go into those even more into the high intensity workouts. So your body starts to push estrogen out. Because we don't want any estrogen, we want estrogen pushed out for the luteal phase. So we really want to optimize that here. Additionally, if you are following the seed cycling, this is where you would switch from the phytoestrogens, the flax and the pumpkin, and switch over to progesterone high foods like sesame seeds and sunflower seeds. Again, check that video out on You Natural YouTube channel so you can find out more, all right? Another thing that really helps in the ovulation phase, like if you're experiencing pain or, you can feel that bloating or distension of the stomach for ovulation, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, they help push this out. They help get that going. And you'll see the difference from cycle to cycle if you start to introduce this. So here we are in the last phase before we hit menstruation again, which is the luteal phase. We want progesterone to go up, but we need estrogen to go out. So we're doing everything to cleanse the body to keep estrogen moving out. So we're not experiencing any PMS, bloating, skin issues, hormonal acne, fatigue, those mood swings especially, right? Just wanting to punch somebody, especially in this case. So here is where we do want to start to slow down. Focus on things like yoga, deep stretching, hot baths, journal a lot, wrap up projects. This is where we're kind of nourishing the body, getting ready for the menstrual phase to happen. Now, here is a good time to up your salad intake, eat a lot of fresh fruits and veggies, just getting that estrogen to cleanse out of the liver so we're experiencing less symptoms. In addition to those progesterone high foods that we were talking about, sunflower seeds and sesame. Now, for all 4 phases to go well, you can go in the flow or follow cycle syncing and eating foods for your period for this. This is going to be in the next video that I share more about why certain foods are super helpful at certain times for the flow. I hope this video has been very informative for you to understand the 4 phases of your cycle more and why hormone imbalance can come in, what's good for fertility and what's good, for if you're not trying to get pregnant inside of these 4 phases. If you have any questions about them, please post them in the comments below, and always can come over and connect more with me at Jaclyn Renee Wellness on Instagram, or join my private Facebook group page, Beat the Bloat with JRW, and I'd love to connect more with you guys. Again, thank you so much for You Natural for having me on your YouTube channel. It's such a pleasure to help women understand their body more and become in tune with their body, regardless of if they want to get pregnant or not. So thanks so much for following, guys, and I look forward to connecting soon.